is comedy fucking gold. The headline, The Science of Sex. And the subtitle is, Masturbation may be the solution to 80% of your problems. So, yeah. Forget about that you're having a fight with your parents or your family, friends. Forget about all that bullshit. Forget about your husband or wife sitting at home. Or forget about that you're falling behind in your career. You're going to fix it with 80% of jerking off. You're going to be fine. Take an apple, have a drink, jerk off. You're going to be all good, lads and ladies. I'm telling you, all right?
Peter.
Why masturbating may be the solution to 80% of your problems. Guys, I have to do a podcast on this. This is fucking awesome. I can't even believe I'm doing this. This is brilliant. I actually read an article here on online. This is awesome. So like many of you know, I'm always going through some articles online and trying to call bullshit on some of them, you know, or maybe I can help you, but this is just pure entertainment. And here's the best part. They even say underneath the subtitle, here's the science to back it up. Oh, here we go. Okay, you know what actually, ladies and gentlemen, hang on a second. If you're watching me on YouTube, you're going to see me. I'm actually literally putting my feet up here on the on my table here, trying to get comfy for this one. This is brilliant. Oh my god. Okay, so a friend once said, but this is the article by the way. A friend once said 9 out of 10 people masturbate and the 10th person is a liar. Yeah, well, I gotta admit that, huh? I mean, who doesn't do it? She was right. Masturbation is one of the first things we learn to do in the womb. In the womb? What? In the womb? But what, we're jerking off in the womb? No, we're not. Oh god, this could turn a bit fucking sick. I literally went through it quickly, guys, and went, okay, this is it, we're gonna do this. And I didn't read this part. In the womb! We don't even have a dick for men in the womb, right? It's a fucking tiny little jelly button. Are you, what? And women are at it too? Is that what you're saying here? Alright, this curiosity continues with us through toddlerhood, childhood, and adulthood. But somewhere in our formative years, we learned that self-pleasuring is wrong. Whoever said self-pleasuring is wrong? Okay, I was all happy at the start of this podcast. Now I'm getting fucking a bit annoyed. Okay, growing up, I remember the shame around masturbation and sex. Well, I suppose, okay, I'll be fair to the person here. There was a bit, wasn't it? But then again, that was back in like the fucking 50s and 60s, right? Even before that, maybe. But where did it all go wrong? I mean, do you remember back in those Roman days? I mean, guys, I don't know my history, but was it like 2,000 years ago? You know, when all these Roman dudes were shagging their little cousin or their niece. I mean, just sick fucking shit, man. You know, this shit was going on 2,000 years ago. So how did we get from that stage, way back in those disgusting days, to all of a sudden it's shameful? Did you get where I'm coming from? How? Surely 2,000 years ago, if people were still disgusted about it in 50s and 60s here, it would have been the same back then. Like, you'd understand it more then, okay? Because, you know, well, hey, that's just the way life is. But all of a sudden, these Roman boys are banging everything fucking 2,000 years ago, and now all of a sudden it's a shameful act? All right. And by the way, I do think it is disgusting what they were doing back in Roman times, just in case anybody's thinking I'm fucking gone mental here. Okay. So growing up, I remember the shame around masturbation and sex. I remember how adults tiptoed around the subject, claiming the slightest knowledge would destroy our innocence. Jesus. Yeah, I wouldn't have liked to live back in the 50s and 60s, man. This bullshit. I remember how religious instructors preached that our bodies were temples that housed God, and masturbation would threaten that union. Despite these teachings, my childish mind couldn't comprehend how something that felt so good was so wrong. But soon guilt and shame kept me in check. This is where my self-hate began. Ah, come here. Look, guys, come on. self-hate if you play with yourself? Seriously, like, I mean, there's obviously an underlying issue. You know, I'd say that to anybody out there, alright? You know, there's a lot of underlying issues underneath this shit. Do you know, it's not the masturbation, playing with yourself. That's the problem. It's you feel horrendous. Because if that was the case, surely, even if you got to the point of climax, I don't want to get too graphic here, even though I'm calling it jerking off, but still, like, you wouldn't find it fun. Surely, right? You'd be almost like puking up because you feel so ashamed. So my point is, like, if you think there's a good feeling, you deep down know that it's a good feeling and it's something that's good for you. Alright, let's carry on. So we all have stories that follow the same narrative. Stories that taught us shame and guilt and consequently made us detach from ourselves and healthy sexuality. Yeah, okay, so I think we're kind of flirting here and dancing around the idea that there's something else going on, right? If we're to improve in any way, we have to remove the stigma around masturbation. By understanding how masturbation translates to self-love and how it impacts our overall health, our journey is made easier. Alright, this is interesting here now. Where would people get this? You know? Like, okay, how masturbation can improve your sex life. Oh, well, here we go. It is believed that masturbation destroys the sex drive and desensitizes the penis and clitoris. Alright, I'm jumping in here. Most guys I know, if they have sex, we want more sex. Okay? We've got it out of our system the moment we've got to our peak orgasm, okay? But once we have a bit of a rest, we want to go again. For most guys, all right? I can't speak for every guy out there. But I'm not agreeing with this here. I'm not agreeing with this. Okay, studies show that women who masturbate have higher sex drives and stronger pelvic muscles. And men who masturbate are more sexually aroused and show fewer signs of erectile dysfunction. Okay. This is attributed to the increase in circulation to the erectile tissues present in the penis and clitoris. More circulation goes down there. The more pleasurable the orgasm, the better the sex. In short, if you want better orgasms, masturbate more. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. You want to go jerk off at home? Go jerk off. In fact, keep fucking doing it. It's healthy. It's good. Now, I'm laughing because, I mean, look, Jesus Christ, you're getting a green card here from this, who wrote this, by the way? I must check this out. I didn't even check the writer. I've given up on checking writers' fucking names and whoever these people are, because some of them are meant to be psychologists and all this, and they're full of shit, most of these people. But alright, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. You've got your green card, you got your pass. No more feeling guilt about jerking off at home, doing this, doing that, okay? You want to go play with yourself, you go play with yourself. Am I sounding very vulgar right now? Okay, masturbation can also help prevent clitoral and vaginal atrophy. A-T-R-O-P-H-Y. I'm sorry, I don't know what that word is. A condition where the clitoris and vagina stop responding to sexual arousal due to inadequate blood flow to the regions. So ladies, keep the clitoris and vagina active or risk losing it. Wow. Okay. But surely that's the same for a guy, right? You know, you got a guy he just can't get it up. So both sexes obviously have this problem. Researchers have shown the same regions in the brain that flare up during sex flare up during masturbation, which means you get the benefits of sex without losing or risking everything. Well, okay, there you go. You can go into a toilet and get yourself job done in a couple of minutes, or you're disease-free. You're not picking up any STDs. There's another couple of tick the boxes for you guys if you do feel a bit guilty out there and you're playing with yourself at home. This comes in handy when sex drives in men and women differ for reasons such as stress, hormones, exhaustion, etc. Another misconception is that frequent masturbating will reduce interest in partner sex. Yeah, well, I agree. That's totally wrong. This can't be further from the truth because masturbation can't replace sex. I agree. There is so much at play during sex that doesn't happen during masturbation, like noise, scent, connection, and body fluids. Alright. So, the next title, How Masturbation Ties to Self-Love. Masturbation is not only a form of releasing sexual tension, it's also a form of self-care. Studies have shown that frequent ejaculation decreases the chance of prostate cancer. That's right, your right hand can save your balls in your life. I'm reading what's written here, okay? This person actually said that. I'll say that again. That's right, your right hand can save your balls and your life. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it from me, but I'm reading it out from someone else. It can save your life. So, get cracking, ladies and gents. Masturbation can also help regulate stress and anxiety. Well, I think we all know that, right? If you're having trouble sleeping, masturbation is a perfect sleeping aid. After climaxing, the hormones vasopressin and oxytocin, OXYTOCIN. Sorry guys if I'm pronouncing these wrong. Relax the body so as to fall asleep faster. While hormones, norepinephrine and serotonin, I don't even know, I'm not even going to try and pronounce that first one, ensure you stay asleep by helping the body get into the REM sleep cycle. I wonder, is that where the band REM got their name from? REM. Masturbation can also be used as a pain reliever. During climax, endorphins travel through the blood to opioid receptors in the brain where it decreases pain and boosts pleasure. So instead of popping a painkiller, entice your body to produce its own opioid. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. After reading about all these benefits, it must be empowering to know the solution to most problems is just a fingertip or a hand away. This begs one to wonder when masturbation is considered excessive. Alright, here we go. This could be entertainment here. When is masturbation too much? I'm going to jump in before we even get into this. Never. As much as you can do it, ladies and gents. Absolutely. Christ. There is no universal way to gauge the normal range of masturbation because there are many factors involved, like sex drive, gender, stress, libido, age, chronic illness, etc. However, you can determine whether masturbation is excessive based on how it affects you personally. For example, if it's compulsive to the point that it's affecting your everyday life, that's a sign. A sign that your masturbating habit is making an issue that you need to face. You see, I'm not gonna... You know something? I honestly, genuinely believe that all of us, every single human being on this planet, we all have an addiction to something. Now, you could argue, I think, of course, that, well, look, there's worse addictions, as in, you could be obsessed with something 10 out of 10, but then there'd be other people that would have a 4 out of 10 or a 7 out of 10 or 1 out of 10, but you're still in the addictive bracket. Do you know what I mean? You just don't go as hard as maybe some other people, or you don't go as easy as some other people. I think we all have got an obsession. And my point is here, for fuck's sake, are you joking me? Come here, if that's your fucking guilty pleasure, playing with yourself at home, right? If that's an addiction, well, it's better than drugs, isn't it? Isn't it? Better than being an alcoholic. It's better than being a druggie. It's better than being a druggie / alcoholic. It's better than being a fucking gambler, don't you think? Jesus, I'd much rather have that problem than a fucking being a gambler or a total alcoholic or druggie. Wait. So, if I had to choose, sign me up any day of the week. Sex addict. So, okay, it's actually, yeah, we're kind of done here. But actually, some of the comments here, I agree with the author based on my own experience with masturbation and how positive a sexual practice and outlet I've found it to be. I love to masturbate and celebrate masturbation in my daily life. You know what? I'm even going to like that comment. I gotta admit, fair play to that. Fair fucks to that person. And that's a guy, by the way. Yeah, he's straight out with it. Well, look, guys, in closing here, you know, for fuck's sake, don't try and convince me that men do it more than women. Alright? Now, are we talking about certain guys and girls? Well, I suppose you'd have to, if you had to pick a certain type of guy, okay, I'd have to put my money, if I had to go to the bookies, that, okay, that type of guy would jerk or play with each other, or play with himself, jerk off, whatever you call it, more than a woman. Then again, what the fuck do I know? You know? I'm not sitting there in the fucking room when I'm watching friends do it. No. So it's all a private thing. You don't know how many times people do it. And for God's sake, it doesn't mean that women are doing it more than men. Men are doing it more than women. How the fuck do we know? And if you're feeling guilty about it, Jesus Christ, seriously, I genuinely think if you do feel guilty about playing with yourself, maybe it's time to go see somebody. Seriously, I would say that. I do it. As much as I want or as little as I want. And even if you're laughing at this, yeah, well, yeah, like you've never done it before. And in fact, if you're laughing at it, you're probably one of the type of people that does it all the time and probably an addict. Do you know what I mean? And that's not a good thing or a bad thing. It's just, you know, kind of funny actually. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. In closing the podcast episode today, if you're not playing with yourself enough, it can cure, or it can prevent, did he say prevent? It can prevent cancer. It can make you feel more relaxed. It can stimulate happy thoughts in your head and happy emotions. So the point here is, go play with yourself. Cheers for listening today, guys. Bye-bye.
Peter.
Walsh.